What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Aftersound here, bringing you Splinterlands content every single day. We also stream right here on this channel as well as on Twitch, so make sure you come by and say hello. This video is also brought to you by my music, which is available anywhere you stream music under the name Aftersound, and I do have a new song out recently called Just Kids, so check it out. Let me know what you think, and I appreciate the support. All right, guys. Well, I got my first couple copies of Luckiest Longshot in this week's prizes. Unfortunately, no arcanes or black foils, but I got Luckiest Longshot, and again, this shouldn't come as a surprise, but you can burn this card not for DEC but for Glint, and it got me thinking about all the new cards that you can burn for Glint, right? I think so. These, like the Busy Beaver, for example. Don't worry, I'm not going to burn it for the Beaver fans out there, but if you burn this one, it converts to Glint as well, and it's got me to start thinking about Glintflation again. Right now, the previous Glintflation video that I made was talking about the prices of everything priced in Glint rising, but now that's starting to make way more sense because there's a lot more Glint potentially hitting the market, or I should say potential Glint, right? Similar to what it used to be where it was potential DEC, now it's potential Glint. So by creating this soulbound currency that the team has, and essentially converting the cards into that, right? So the only time that you'll get DEC back cards is going to be cards that they sell, most likely. But the potential for that is that we get massive more Glint that comes into the ecosystem because they introduce a ton of cards like this, but they raise the prices, which kind of offsets it. And I do think that this is actually kind of brilliant, right? Because Glint in many ways is, well, it's obviously doesn't have a dollar value associated with it in terms of, like, you can't just trade, like, direct dollar value. You can't just trade Glint for USD or any other currency in the same way that you can with DEC. So it keeps everything in game. It keeps people focused, and you get to create more stuff, more unique things, prizes, whatever it is that people actually want to have, right? For flexing in the game. And this actually gets me really excited about the Avatar project, which we haven't heard much about recently, but hopefully that'll be something that the team is planning to release in December, at least as of the last town hall. That was the game plan. And we do have two more release windows, or two more maintenance windows, on the 9th and the 16th before the holidays really kick in. So as we move forward now, the team has all this optionality to create stuff that isn't inflationary for DEC, isn't inflationary from like a card standpoint. And when I say card standpoint, yes, it is inflationary to cards and their values and all this because, again, I always say cards as an asset class are infinitely inflationary because the team can create more, but it doesn't impact the broader economy behind the game. If anything, what it does is create more diversity within collections that people have, and for the collectors out there that want to have everything or want to go after certain things, right? There's a bunch of When Beaver fans that probably want these beavers, right? It creates an opportunity for people to come in and actually feel like they have some agency and some something to flex. And to me, the brilliant part, or the exciting part of the Avatar project, is that that's only going to take that to the next level. And again, we don't have many details yet, but if the idea is, you're able to flex stuff through your collection, you're able to show that you got certain things, whether it's here or on land, right, with the land cards, or on any of these other arenas, now you'll be able to do that with your profile. And that really taps into the gamer mentality. So, I've been kind of lukewarm on the Avatar project for a while, so it's not, and again, it's just something that, like, I don't take too seriously. And my hope is that, as Matt keeps alluding to and keeps teasing, it will be something that I want to take seriously, right? Maybe I've just never had a relationship with a game like this where it's like, okay, well, I've been in the game for like 4 years now, coming up on 4.5 years in the next couple of months, and it's like, I've been around for a while. People know me. I do want to have some things to flex. So when people check out my profile here in the game, it's like, oh, okay, yeah, Aftersound has accomplished this, and that. So I'm getting a little bit more excited about the Avatar project. But I went down this rabbit hole of the Avatar project and all that. My real purpose was just to focus on Glintflation and why I'm not as worried about it anymore, right? I talked about the rising prices previously, but now we're starting to see, right, when the team did that a couple of months ago in October, it was like, oof, that's going to make things really tough to get and to max out all these things, X, Y, and Z. But they did warn us. And now we're actually starting to see the fact that there's a ton of stuff that's going to come out that's going to be available for Glint, which is why the rising prices make sense now, because let's say I didn't want the beaver card and I didn't necessarily want to sell it. I could burn it for glint, or again, if somebody wants to burn it for glint, I don't think, and this is kind of the brilliant part, all of these things are going to be so collectible that I don't think people are going to want to burn them for glint, especially if you can sell them, right? Especially if they're going to have some value, whether it's skins in the future, whether it's these cards, right? Like, I would rather sell this card than convert it into glint. So it's like, even the motivation isn't really there. The potential for more glint in the ecosystem exists if at some point, for whatever reason, like nobody wants these beaver cards and the value goes to a penny or even, lower than that. God forbid, right, for all my Win Beaver fans. But my point is that with all this, or even like Lucky Longshot, for example, like if people don't want that card and it's just easier to burn it for glint and so that you can buy something that maybe has value, at that point, still doesn't matter. It doesn't affect the rest of the ecosystem. People go in and the team at that point will find hopefully unique ways to get people to spend their glint. So I'm really excited to see the development of glint here. It's not something that I was again, it's something that came into the ecosystem and I was like, all right, this fixes a lot of things, but I didn't see the bigger picture until now. And maybe I'm still not seeing the full picture just because we don't have access to whatever the team is planning, but a lot of it is starting to come into better focus now, and I'm really excited about that. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Otherwise, I'll catch you all in the next video and see you around the game. Take care.